My education and background is in business. My degree is in business administration, so it's a far cry from what I do today, but it helps me to relate so much more is when we talk about doing missions and ministries here locally and across the globe is what we do. And so I use the word micro and macro. And what the micro is to me is when we are seeking to share Christ, share the Gospels with those that are in my immediate surroundings. And you say, well, in our community, and yes, in our community, but in my own circle and in my personal interactions. I know that my wife is much better at it than I am because I'm an introvert. So it's a lot of times it's hard for me to get into those conversations, but it's my passion. So once I can get there, it's a lot of fun and joy and just sharing the truth about having Christ in my life with those. We seem to come across people in need.
Right.
And then the macro version would be from there to community to the state to the United States, which you guys are fixing to go on a trip to Seattle, to my friends in Ukraine and been to Africa for several trips there. So it's the goal or the main message is to share Christ with the world and in my heart in any way that I can get it done.
Right. That brings up our verse for today that we're kind of talking over, the Great Commission. It's just painted on our walls behind the stage, and it's something that you may have heard many times. The Great Commission, Matthew chapter 28, verse 18. Then Jesus came to them and said, "All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Therefore go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you. And surely I'm with you to the very end of the age." And we call that the Great Commission, right? And I think sometimes we can get overwhelmed with that great part. Every
Yes.
nation, all the nations. And we get caught up in thinking, what am I going to do for all the nations? When we forget that when Jesus says all the nations, he means the nation that you're in as well. Right? He doesn't just mean overseas in other countries, which he means that too, but he also means the place that you're at. And now that's more of that micro talking, right? And so if we get overwhelmed and forget about where we're at, we lose that opportunity because we're so thoughtful of trying to spread the gospel in a place that we're not even at the moment, right? The most influential place you could have to spread the gospel is in your own home, is in your own group of friends, is in your own workplace, is with your kids. That is your first nation. That is where God has you right now on the ground, a foot soldier for going out and speaking and letting people know who he is. And that doesn't always mean preaching at people. That doesn't always mean pulling out a Bible and telling them this and that. That just means your attitude towards people. That means how you treat them, the words that you use with them. Are you representing that love that we're told to represent? And I think it's a lot simpler than sometimes if we call something the Great Commission. It sounds like this big, grand, got to go on a mission trip, got to go out of the country, got to do all these big things. Your mission field is right outside those doors.
Yeah. And in my mind, we actually do those greater things when we support other avenues, other areas. Like for me, you went to the Philippines. You served in the Philippines for a long time, and that there was just not. I could say time, I could say money. There was just no physical way that I could serve in the Philippines, but I could serve you by helping you serve in the Philippines. And I can't get the message to the world physically, but through you guys, through my people that I know, and supporting what they do through YouTube, social media. There's so many ways that we can get that message, and if I can't be the one who does the messaging, I can't be the messenger, I can support the person who is.
It's a biblical idea too, right? Paul, writing to all the churches that he wrote to, those churches would support him in whatever way they needed. So it is a very biblical thing to support causes like the Philippines when I was there, things that we do in Ukraine now. That is how you're getting the macro out of spreading the gospel. So be sure that you have a balance of micro and macro. Do not lose out on either one, because in the Great Commission there is room and need for both of them.
I wonder if we could think of that more if you're not a business guy, instead of the micro and macro is just saying there's you, there's me, and then there's us.
There you go. That's a good way of saying it. You, me, and us. So we hope we can take that and use it today for encouragement. We hope you have a great day.